The UNLV class of 2026 Hall of Fame inductees were announced, and we got a quick word from one of the 7 inductees.
Our reporter Whitaker Lummis sat down with co-founder of NBA Summer League, Warren Legary, here in our brand new studio.
A lot of unexpected things going on with the World Cup. All coverage and more coming up here on Rebel Report. Welcome to the first ever summer edition of Rebel Report. I'm Crystal Connor.
And I'm Jeremiah Skillman. It's a big day, as Crystal has mentioned. The inaugural Summer Rebel Report is here, and we have an exciting show here for you guys today with coverage from all over the Valley. But we start right here on campus with some notable Rebels. To kick things off, we'd like to congratulate this year's 2026 UNLV Hall of Fame class inductees.
That's right, Jeremiah. It was just last week it was announced that 7 new members representing 5 different sports for the Scarlet and Gray would be honored.
2 of which was men's and women's golf, with 2 titans in the sports, including 1998 national champion turned pro Charley Hoffman, who is a 4-time winner of the PGA Tour, and as to 2 women's side, Dan Finkelstein-Fall, who holds multiple records for the program and left UNLV as the most decorated golfer in women's history.
However, you also can't forget about the diamond with current professional MLB player for the Chicago White Sox, Erick Fedde, who was drafted in the first round of the 2014 MLB draft. And on the other side, Marissa Nichols, who is a former softball player for the Rebels, who broke multiple records in her freshman year before earning her PhD here at UNLV, and actually had a few words to say about the honor.
UNLV is where this all started. And so without that experience and that transformational experience as a student athlete, I wouldn't have the same direction or platform or skill set that I have now to impact other schools and the NCAA as a whole.
To round out the 2026 class is all-time leading rusher for quarterbacks, Jason Thomas, along the longtime athletics administrator, Terry Cottle, and distinguished contributor, Bill Paulos.
Those 7 will be honored here on campus on November 5th, as well as being honored in Allegiant Stadium on November 7th, when the Rebels take on the Wyoming Cowboys. So make sure to get your tickets to support UNLV Hall of Fame class of 2026.
Heading into baseball, Fatima Navarro was out covering our Las Vegas Aviators as they head into a 6-game series against the Tacoma Rainiers. And she is here to tell us all about it.
Thank you, guys. Yes, I had the fun opportunity to cover Game 1 and 2 of this series. Game 1 started off a bit shaky, but the Aviators were able to pull through and win it with a score of 9-5. Joey Meneses was a key player in securing the win as he was able to pull off a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. Tommy White also had a great game with 3 hits and an RBI. The Aviators were able to put in 11 total hits, and Tacoma couldn't catch up as they only collected 9 hits. Game 2, the Aviators had us thinking this would be an easy game, but Tacoma was able to flip the script. The Aviators had a lead early on as they were able to score in the 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings to build a 7-4 lead. Daryl Hernandez powered the offense, going 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs, as well as 3-run home run in the 3rd. Tacoma kept grinding, scoring 4 times in the 9th inning. While it was not the outcome we were hoping for, this series is far from over. The Aviators still hold first place in the Pacific Coast League standings, and they'll look to keep it that way.
You can show your support as the Aviators return home for tonight's game.
Well, the WNBA ended the month of June with its Commissioner's Cup Championship final game between our Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty. New York was on a run with Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart leading the charge. Ionescu, still making her way back from injury, dropped 26 points, which included 5 3-pointers and a clutch dagger with under 16 seconds to go. as well as Stewart, delivering an MVP performance with 25 points, 11 rebounds, and a dominant effort the entire game, earning her third Commissioner's Cup title and second with the New York Liberty. The Aces put forth their absolute best efforts, rallying from a 17-point deficit behind Jackie Young's 31 points. But New York responded with a late 15-2 run to seal the 85-93 victory. The Aces were missing their leading scorer in Asia Wilson since she has been out because of a rolled ankle injury, but she was a huge sideline supporter of her teammates leading into this week of games. And we are hoping to see Miss Wilson back on the court very soon. And tonight, the Aces are on the road playing the Portland Fire, number 11 in the league currently, as we have honestly scooted down to number 2 spot for the moment. But come in and tune in for tonight's game because I'm smelling a win. What do you think, Jeremiah?
I think that the Aces do need this win. I mean, recently the Aces played against the Fever and the Sky here in Vegas at T-Mobile, and they took a good overtime win versus the Sky, and then they took a tough loss to the Fever, who were missing also Caitlin Clark, and then the Aces are still missing Asia.
Still.
But there is some other things that are going on between the Aces, and it's just a lot going on, but they definitely need this win.
Yeah, there's a bit of some news going on, right, Jeremiah?
Yeah, a bit of shocking news coming out of the Aces camp this week. Guard Chennedy Carter has been waived by the team ahead of the mid-season non-guaranteed contract deadline.
Yes, according to Bleacher Report, neither the WNBA team nor head coach Becky Hammon provided a specific statement detailing the release, though Carter had been dealing with limited minutes, a left leg injury, and an unspecified illness prior to the cut.
Well, we always hate to see a good player go, but wherever Carter lands herself and her talents, we wish her all the best. But the Aces then proceeded to pick up Justine Pissott from the Fever as well as Tanaya Latson on a development contract. And 2026 Summer League has officially kicked off with 7 games slated today. Let's get into which ones to watch and which are live and which you can just catch the highlights from. Timberwolves versus Pelicans kick off today as they started at 12:30, and then the Spurs versus the Hawks battling it out at 1:30. And then the third game of the day consists of the Detroit Pistons and the Philadelphia 76ers at 2:30. Following them are the Warriors and Mavericks at 4:30. Just 30 minutes later, the Hornets and Magic tip off at 4:30. And the last 2 games of the night is number 2 versus number 1. It's the Jazz versus the Wizards. And then to round out the night, the Kings take on the Clippers at 8 p.m. We will be covering the Summer League all week long. Our socials will be blowing up, so make sure that you drop a follow at Rebel Sports Net on all social media. But we're not quite done with the Summer League for today. Coming up next, we have an exclusive one-on-one interview with Warren Legary and his role in the Summer League. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back to Rebel Report. We had the honor of interviewing the co-founder and director of the Las Vegas Summer League, Warren Legary, here in the studio.
Yes, we did. And so we'll shoot it over to Whitaker Lummis, who sat down with him in our never seen or used Studio A.
Hey guys, welcome into brand new Studio A here at UNLV in the Greenspun School of Urban Affairs. Warren, this is your first time here after, 20 plus years hosting events at UNLV just across at Thomas and Mack. How do you feel about, what we have to offer here at the facility?
It's an eye-opener. I was surprised. First time in A, first time in B, first time anywhere. First time on a go-kart, too, to get over here. So the whole thing was a brand new experience. But look, this UNLV is in the middle of the hotbed of whatever is going on in the world around, as well as especially in sports, and especially in these times with the brand new football arena, the baseball build. I just drove by Tropicana, saw the baseball field being built. And hopefully this is going to be a time where people vote through their buying tickets that we want to be an NBA city too. So it's right there. Everything's on the ledge right here for people to pick up or drop, whatever they choose.
You're obviously Summer League co-founder. Do you still get excited for the start of Summer League with all these, the future stars as you did in year 1?
Look, I'm a basketball groupie. I just love the game. I love being around it. I love the new stories, but being here makes me younger. Just being around hope, inspiration, all these young kids want to start writing their story. The best way to tell your story, come out and do it. And so a lot of these, again, every team starts 0-0 here. So there's a lot of hope, there's a lot of optimism. And more importantly, we're going to see some incredible talent this year, probably one of the best draft classes in 10 years. And it's going to go 20 to even later deep, and you're going to find some gems in the second round. So this year is going to be as watched as any particular class ever.
So you mentioned the strength of this class. You know, with a super talented draft class, as you said, probably the strongest draft we've had in 10 years. What does that do kind of for like your side of things and the entertainment side?
Well, you like life. I mean, there's so many events that always go around names. Okay, you always have a name that draws. If somebody's getting married and having to be called Taylor Swift, the whole world's interested. If there's a name, some other name that not Swift, a few people show up. So, you know, clearly having name value always helps. But at the same time, the one thing that we've tried to establish all these years here in Vegas is make the event the star. No matter who comes that year, you know you're going to get a quality production. It may not be an NBA game, but I guarantee you it's an NBA experience. So that's the one thing that we've always worked our tails off to make sure that we ensure so when the fans come, they don't feel gypped. They feel like they're getting the best entertainment value in sports. I mean, I could say in Vegas, that's true. Maybe in sports, $50, 8 games. Are you kidding me? To see all these stars. So, and the remember thing, at every All-Star game, if you look at, except for LeBron, every other All-Star began here in Vegas. So if you want to see the future, come and see them in their first year. Understand what their story is and what they're about. We got a wall up there with all the guys who first started here. This wall is going to get filled up with a lot of people from this year's class.
So going towards more the basketball side, we saw the NBA is going to go forward with this, 2-for-1 free throw rule where you just go to the line, you shoot, and it's worth 2 points. I mean, did you have kind of any say in those rules?
Well, we've always presented ourselves as the petri dish. You want to experiment with some new stuff. The time or the coach's challenge, the different types of clock stuff going on. We've always been that place where we've allowed them to experiment to see whether or not these things make sense during a game, because you're getting a full-on NBA experience here. The referees are playing at full speed. The fans give you that environment where you feel like you're in an NBA game. So everything is a way of duplicating what would be an NBA experience during the regular season. And so I think the NBA feels that it can calibrate to a pretty good certainty of how these rules should or could be inducted into following season.
And sticking on the theme of expansion, do you think Vegas is ready for an NBA team?
Well, you know what? The fans have a vote in this. You know what the vote is?
What is it?
Come to Summer League.
Okay.
I mean, you want to show the NBA you're ready to be part of a regular season NBA experience? Have an NBA franchise here? Your vote is buy tickets. Come here. Show them that it's sincere. You can't be fair-weathered about this stuff. You've got to be genuine. You've got to show people we love the game. We'll be able to support an NBA franchise when it comes here.
So, Warren, thank you so much for coming on today. We're excited to, cover the Summer League all over our socials. So make sure you guys...
We're happy to have you.
Stay tuned with that.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Whit. And again, thank you, Warren Legary, for being the first to ever be interviewed in our brand new studio.
For more coverage on the Summer League, make sure to tune in here every Thursday, as well as on our socials for full coverage across the 11 days. Welcome back to Rebel Report. The MLB All-Star Game is coming up, and Justin Young is here in studio to tell us more.
The 96th MLB All-Star Game is upon us, and 2 former Aviators are about to compete in the Midsummer Classic. Athletics catcher Shea Langeliers and first baseman Nick Kurtz will be representing the A's, as well as Vegas and Philadelphia. Langeliers won the fan vote to start at catcher, barely beating out Alejandro Kirk of the Toronto Blue Jays. Langeliers is hitting .260 this season, and has already eclipsed the 20 home run mark. Now, Kurtz actually lost the fan vote to Blue Jays first baseman Vlad Guerrero Jr., but with Vladdy not participating in the game, the start's going to go to Kurtz. The Big Amish is having a very similar season to Langeliers, as Kurtz is batting .270 while also having 20 homers. This will be a full circle moment for Kurtz, as his hometown Lancaster, Pennsylvania is only an hour and a half outside of Philly. This will be first player's first ever All-Star game. But now moving on to local talents, former UNLV second baseman Bryson Stott finished second in fan voting, while Las Vegas high school product Bryce Harper was selected for the National League. When asked about potentially being in the home run derby, this is what Harper had to say.
The last time I did it, I won. I said I'd never do it again. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. I don't really have anybody to throw to me as well. My dad hasn't thrown in a long time, so I don't really want to do it without him. It's a moment for me and him, but we'll see. Obviously, I know the fans want me to do it, so I'll take that into account. But we'll see how much oomph I guess I have behind me going out there and doing it.
Thank you, Justin. The MLB All-Star Game will take place on July 14th at 5 p.m. on Fox, with the Home Run Derby taking place a day prior exclusively on Netflix.
The NBA recently concluded the 2025 to 2026 NBA season with the New York Knicks winning the championship, and with that comes free agency, and we have already seen some blockbuster moves. We have Antonio Charles and Giovanni Umanique in our brand new studio to discuss.
Free agency started not too long ago, and we have had a lot of blockbuster things happen in the NBA. Like Giannis is on the Miami Heat now, LaMelo's on the Timberwolves, Kawhi is back on the Toronto Raptors, Walker Kessler is now a Los Angeles Laker, Jaylen Brown is a 76er, and LeBron has left the Lakers? Gio, what do you think has been the biggest thing so far?
Well, obviously with free agency happening, there hasn't been a lot of signings that have happened throughout the entirety of free agency. What has happened is a lot of trades. And in my opinion, the Raptors getting Kawhi Leonard may have the most impact on that franchise. Obviously winning a championship back in 2019. The other one that's pretty big, in my opinion, was the Jaylen Brown trade. Not only because of them getting another superstar in that team, but the amount of picks they only paid and the player that they had to send out. That was a great trade. In your opinion, what was the biggest trade or free agency move?
To me, I think Giannis to the Miami Heat, because Giannis will be a valuable asset to that team, already with Bam Adebayo, second leading scorer in NBA history. And I feel like if they really go work together, they will be a very dominant duo in the NBA. Looking forward to this next season. Also, LeBron left the Lakers. We don't know where he's going. Now my question to you, Crystal and Jeremiah, where do y'all think he's going? Back to you guys.
Okay, where do you want him to go?
This is hard. I want him to go to Golden State.
Oh, wait, me too.
I'm a Golden State fan.
Me too.
So I want him to go to Golden State.
Okay, but I feel like he probably should go home.
To retire?
Yeah, like...
Only if he's retiring, he could go home. But if he I don't know. LeBron got like a body, like he can never be injured or something. Or like he'll never retire. So if he goes home, he has to retire after a year. But if he comes to Golden State, he got 3 years in him. You know what I mean? And then, it's crazy, though, because I just found out that just a minute ago, before we went live, Shams reported on X that Kawhi Leonard trade will, in fact, not be complete because the Clippers are still under investigation.
Oh, man.
That's a shocking one right there.
What's the investigation for?
Not exactly sure.
You know what? Any investigation is not one that we would like to have, so we'll get back to you on that.
That's all the time we have for you guys today, but be sure to check in next Thursday for another amazing episode of the summer edition of Rebel Report. Thank you guys so much for having us. I'm Jeremiah Skillman.
And I'm Crystal Connor, and we will see you next time.